Hello everyone, it's DiFusionGaming here for another episode of TWD. Now in this episode, I'm going to be talking about grade 11 chemistry. So yeah, let's get into it. So there's three things I want to talk about in this topic. One of them is a story, and the other two are just kind of like things that happened in that class. Like, not really stories, but like things that are kind of annoying or boring or whatever. But yeah, the first thing is, it's like, let's just so you know, so you normally bring your binder in if you have a binder. So I bring my binder in, I have everything sorted the way I want it to be sorted. But nope, right at the beginning of the year, we have this teacher in grade 11 chemistry had things working differently. So one of the requirements for the class is you had to have page dividers, so you'd have to divide everything by chapter. So you'd basically sort all of your work out the way the teacher wants it sorted out. And the most annoying thing is, every single time we took a test, we would have to put our binders in the back of the room, have it opened up to our most recent chapter. And the teacher will basically check to make sure your binder is all sorted out by chapters and make sure all the assignments are in order. Like, she would have like a check sheet and everything. And it would be like attached in your binder and everything. And I think we got graded on it. So it's like, I have things sorted out the way I want it to be sorted out. Like, I know where everything is. I find it even more confusing when things are sorted out differently. Like, it doesn't matter if other people don't know where things are. What matters is if I know where things are. So yeah, basically the way I have things sorted out is, like, I have things sorted out based on like when I get the assignment, I will put it in like one of those little slot things. I don't know what they're called, little folder areas. There's like the rings, and then when on one of the sides of the binder, there would be like these little slot areas you could put papers. But I would have every single slot would have like some different purpose. The very bottom of the stack of papers would be my oldest assignments. So I'd have everything sorted out the way I want. All of my paper would be in the binders, or anything I'm currently working on would be in like the main ring area. All the old stuff would be sorted out into the slots. But nope, in this class, I had to do things completely differently. So yeah, I had two binders at the time for like two classes, so one of them would be sorted out the way the teacher wanted, one of them would be sorted out the way I wanted it. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. Alright, now I'm gonna get into like the story. This is like the main reason why I want to make this video. If this didn't happen, then I probably wouldn't be making this video. Now, just so you know, before I get into this story, in class, or in school, I was always that quiet person that didn't really talk to anybody. So whenever teachers always have like a different opinion on me. Some teachers like me because I'm quiet, I always work, I don't really talk to anybody. But then other teachers, I won't say dislike me, they're just kind of like, they prefer that I would talk. And I've been told by some teachers that I should talk more. Those teachers are more commonly in like more discussion-based classes where you get graded on, because you get graded on like your participation in like the talks. Now on to the actual story. Now we're done with that. So basically, I'm in class, I'm just working, doing my normal thing. The whole class is quiet, nobody's talking. It's all just going normal, just working on my assignment. And then all of a sudden, the chemistry teacher walks up to me. And for about 10 seconds, she was telling me about how much of an amazing student I was, and how I never talk and never stop working, how I'm always focused on my assignment. And then, this is where the awkward part comes in. I didn't know what to say because, of course, I'm the one who doesn't really talk at all. So for like 20 seconds, we just weren't doing anything. We were just kind of staring at each other, and then after that 20 seconds was up, she just kind of walked away looking at with the most awkward face. And what was even more awkward was, when she walked away, I noticed the people around like the little area around me were all like watching. And they watched the teacher walk away. It's like, oh, they were watching the whole time. That was very awkward. But it isn't the most awkward moment that I've ever experienced at school. I'm no stranger to these kinds of moments. They have a lot more awkward stories to tell. but those will have to be for different videos. But anyways, enough of that. I'll get on to the final thing to talk about, which is the title of this is Changing Colors. Now, just so you know, like in chemistry, we do these things called labs every once in a while. And basically that's where you'd be like actually doing like hands-on stuff. You wouldn't be like working until like after. So you like get these substances or whatever, mix them, you kind of like heat them up and just do all kinds of stuff like that. It would be like based on like what we were currently learning. But one thing annoying with these assignments and really boring is most of the labs were almost identical to each other. It's like every time, like let's say you have a beaker and you mix two things together, it turns from green to blue. Wow, that's pretty cool when you first do it. But when you do labs over and over and over again, and it all does is have the exact same result, it gets kind of repetitive. So like most labs we do would always have the same result, just like a liquid changing color or something like that. It would just be a different way of getting to that result, but we don't actually see that happen. It's all invisible to the naked eye. It's just liquids changing colors. Usually we'd just be measuring stuff. And then the only different thing we really do with those labs is the questions after it. So we'd get like a worksheet after the labs, kind of like explaining how we got to that result. So yeah, those labs, every once in a while there'd be a cool lab, but those color changing ones can get very boring after you do it for a long time. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this episode of TWD. Hope you enjoyed. And for the question, did you ever have to do anything repetitive or boring in like labs or science experiments or whatever? Make sure to let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that's going to be it, so goodbye.